I want to hear it loud. Namaste from India. Namaste. Thank you so much. I'm Anil. I'm the founder of Young Thinker Foundation, and today we are here to share our story. I was born in an island village in India, and this is the island village where I was born, and I had my basic education here. But eventually, my father, he was in CRPF, which is a police force. So he got transferred from Odisha to Bhopal. So for your information, Odisha is in the east of India, and Bhopal is in the center of India. So I got migrated from the east to the center just to get the education. But eventually, I got back to Odisha for my studies, for my higher studies. And when I got back to my village, one thing I noticed is everything has changed, but one thing was still the same: the schools and the education system. And that actually stuck my mind. Because it was 10 years and nothing has changed much. And at that point of time, I was in my second year of engineering. I thought of, as a student, what can I do for my village? What can I do for the system? And that is where Young Thinker was born. The first mission was to bring in hands-on learning to students. And this is where we tell to think unthinkable. When I went back to my village and started this hands-on learning and STEM learning to students, a lot of people told me, these things won't yield anything. It's just a waste of money and time. Because these guys can't even study those basic skills. They don't have those basic skills. They're not good at studies. They don't know ABCD. And then you're talking about STEM. Then you're talking about robotics. The first mission was to get a tin shed and get few students there. In the first phase, we got only 3 students. Only 3. But eventually, we got to know what these students can create. And today, I will be focusing on those stories. Now I would like to invite 3 of my students here who would be telling their own stories. And I would like to invite Om first.
Namaste.
Namaste.
I am Om Padi and I am 16 years old. When I was a toddler, my parents fought a lot, and so eventually my father left us, and my mother did not have money for my education. She left me at Adruta orphanage, and then I have been working hard. I want to become an engineer to help my community and make everyone proud. Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste.
My name is Basudeva Bhoi. I am 15-year-old from the remote village of Baral in the state of Odisha, India. This is my house back in Odisha, where I used to live along with my family. My father worked as a daily laborer in paddy fields. So I used to assist to my father and my fields to support my family. But I always want to do something good for my family and community. Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste.
I am Akanksha and I am 17 years old from Bhubaneswar. When I was 5 years old, my father passed away and my mother is not able to take care of me because of some financial difficulties, and she left me in Adruta Children Home, and there I complete my 10th grade, and currently I am reading electronics in a training institute. So staying in a children's home did not stop me to achieving big in my life, and I am also thankful to the people who support me and guide me to achieving big in my life. Thank you.
So guys, now you must be thinking why we all are here in US. So ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, these three guys from these kind of background have been invited by NASA to participate in Human Exploration Rover Challenge 2023. I still remember the day when we started this initiative way back in 2015, and when a lot of people told me, like, nothing gonna happen here. It's still a waste. And from that point of time, I told, just think unthinkable and work towards it. Something good will happen. And this is what happened. So, if you look forward to the background of these students from these remote villages have been able to do something great. Students with less facilities from orphanages are also coming out. And it is all because of the Tinker Spaces that we have developed in these places. So what is basically a Tinker Space? So Tinker Spaces are open spaces where we have these facilities like 3D printing, robotics, AI, ML, IoT, a lot of digital fabrication facilities for students. And these facilities are assisted by content. So for example, I belong to a state Odisha, so we have Odia language. So students in these remote villages and government schools, they only know Odia. For them, English is an alien language. So we make sure we have all this content in the vernacular languages. In India, we have 30 states. Every state have their own language plus tribal languages. So it's 200 plus languages. We always wanted them to learn in their own language plus English as a different language. But all the operational thing will be in their own vernacular languages. And this is not just 1, 2 or 3 stories. Now there are thousands of stories, thousands of success stories. If these students can create something, they will become innovators. And eventually, few will become entrepreneurs. It's not just a dream now, it's a reality. So these students, those who have selected for this NASA Rover Challenge, let's hear from them, their stories, what they are creating, and what's their experience.
Namaste everyone.
Namaste.
I am Akash. I'm a 10th grader in Vijayawada, Andhra Pradesh, India. As the technical lead in the team, I was tasked with researching various raw materials and tools to build our rover. It was such a daunting task. There were countless options to consider, and the success of the team depended on these decisions. At first, I was really overwhelmed and unsure where to start. But I soon realized that this was an opportunity for me to improve my skills and be confident in my abilities. So I approached the problem in a systemic manner. I first researched and tested various raw materials and tools. Later on, we chose the best ones to build our rover. The more progress we made, the more confident I grew. I was able to make decisions by myself confidently. I was able to communicate with my fellow team members confidently, sharing my ideas and decisions. I felt proud of the work that we were accomplishing together. I felt a sense of pride and satisfaction, which I never felt before. The one thing that the competition taught me was that taking on a leadership role and being responsible for making important decisions is really daunting. But at the same time, it's extremely rewarding. And now, I'm really confident in my own skills, and I'm looking forward in taking new challenges in the future. Thank you.
Namaste everyone.
Namaste.
This is Akshara. I'm 17-year-old and I'm from Andhra Pradesh, India. I'm the Student Safety Officer for Team Young Tinker representing India in the NASA HERC 2023. So our team consists of students from different parts of the country. Even though we are located thousands of miles away, we never felt it as a setback. Initially, we used to connect virtually and divided ourselves into various subgroups so that each one of us could research on our respective sub-teams. Like we could research about the different types of materials, the chassis, the different types of brakes, the wheels and everything. And later on, we met physically to manufacture the rover. Being a part of this team has been a really good experience and I had great memories to cherish forever. After I researched, I came to know that building a rover is a final year project for engineering students. But we at Young Tinker made it possible by creating history in India by forming the Under-19 team consisting of 10th, 11th and 12th graders from different parts of the country to compete in this prestigious competition. Finally, our team's mantra is, dream big, work even harder, challenge yourself every day, motivate yourself every minute. Eyes always on the stars and feet always on the ground. Never stop doing anything. Just keep going and going and going. Let's keep walking, jogging or running. But let's not stop and let's not give up. We are here to make a difference and let's do it. Thank you.
Namaste is probably becoming a bit monotonous, so hi. It's a lovely word though. I'm Siddhant, and I wanted to use this platform and the experience I've gained as the design lead for this team to talk to you all about failure. We've probably given you the impression that we made one rover, and that's really kind of not true at all. We have tens of rover designs in various stages of completion that'll probably just never see the light of day. And that begs the question, why do we have a graveyard of rovers? Well, I'd like to quote Yoda from The Last Jedi, and I know it's not the best Star Wars film, but hear me out. If I forget the quote, that's really bad. The greatest teacher failure is. Now, the greatest teacher failure is. Yeah, so
Go down to the applause, please. Yeah,
Thank you so much. Okay, so each failed design taught us what we can do, what works and what doesn't, and so we were able to use our failures to break down our problem into its constituent parts. We were able to get rid of our assumptions through our failures, and we tested our hypotheses. We learned to work around what we learned, and eventually I think we were able to design the best tool for the task. So if you have to take anything from this, just remember that never fear failure, revel in it. Thank you.
So namaste everyone. My name is Vaishali and I am the co-founder of Young Tinker. Through the stories of these students, we came to know that it is not just about science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, but it is a lot more than that. It is about building a team. It is about designing product, working in a team, and being confident in your work. At Young Thinker, I work in bringing girls into the STEM. If Akansha from an orphanage can do it, if Akshara from her community can achieve this big, so can you. At Young Thinker, we work on providing STEM education to each and every student. We have the first Unthinkable was to bring tinkering culture, introduce the tinkering culture to these girls, and we made it possible. We achieved it through our 44 Thinker Spaces and have successfully impacted 150,000 students. And I'm proud to say that 50% of them are girls.
So what started from an island village with just 3 students is now the family is around 150,000 students across the globe. What started from an island village, the small community, now is a big community across India. So the lesson here is, when we think unthinkable, nothing happened. But when we started doing that, a lot of things changed. And once in 2021, the NASA's rover challenge first team came in, the unthinkable was no more unthinkable, because these students became the role models for others. Another student also wanted to do, if he can, why can't I? And that's the power of thinking unthinkable. Thank you so much, guys, for listening us so patiently. Namaskar.